please, just 10 years, give yourselves a hand, guys. Obviously, this is the biggest stage we've ever been on. It's been an amazing show so far here. NMX at NAB show. I just think this is a moment in history that we'll all talk about years from now, about when the podcasting community was celebrated here at the world's biggest trade show for all of media. That's a pretty impressive thing. So I got to thank our sponsors, PodcastOne, who is our presenting sponsor for the awards tonight. Thank you very much to PodcastOne. Thank you to Norm so much for everything you've done for this space. It's fantastic. Thank you to Blog Talk Radio. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Without them, it wouldn't happen. So please, everyone, give them a round of applause. Thank you to our sponsors. I want to bring up somebody real quick who's really special to the Podcast Awards, Todd Cochran, who is the founder of the Podcast Awards. Todd, please come on out.
Holy shit! Woo!
Congratulations, buddy.
Wow, look at this. Who was here at year one? Yeah. How far we have come. So, holy cow.
So Todd, what were you thinking when you started this 10 years ago?
As many of you know, it was about giving back. It was making sure that we had an event that podcasters could be recognized at. And boy, I took some abuse, but this is worth it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you were doing the awards, you know, in your studio by yourself in Hawaii?
Well, we kind of lost a venue. Kind of like we had no money. It was tight for a few years, but we hard charged on and put the awards on and had a great time. Skyped people in and destroyed show names like Brian's show, and we had funds with, you know, it was just a great time, and Skyping people in, and we had a great, I mean, like 40,000 people were online at one time watching the Podcast Awards. I don't know how many are watching the stream tonight, but I thought that was pretty incredible.
And by the way, people can watch the stream live on PodcastOne, who's hosting the Podcast Awards tonight.
Tweet that.
We'll get the show started in just a moment. Something else I wanted to mention, I haven't seen him myself, but I've heard a rumor earlier today, and then I just heard it again a few minutes ago, that there's a confirmed sighting that Adam Curry is in the room, the Podfather. Adam?
Mr. No Agenda himself, Adam.
Welcome, sir. I can tell you, Adam, you get a lot of votes. I'm in every category.
There's a story, though. There's a story. Adam and Leo were awarded a PR40 from Heil Sound the first year. How many of you use a PR40? That revolution of that mic started with the first year of the Podcast Awards.
Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming. It's long overdue. We are honored for you to be in the audience, and for everyone, all the other nominees tonight, thank you so much. One quick housekeeping note, nominees, when you win, please come up on this side of the stage. Okay? So with all of that said, our preamble, we're gonna quit and start the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's the best Podcast Awards ever. I know that it will be. Let's have just a blast tonight and celebrate the industry of podcasting. Thank you again, everyone. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the 10th Annual Podcast Awards, live from the Westgate Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. The 10th Annual Podcast Awards are brought to you by New Media Expo and the NAB Show, and presented by PodcastOne. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th, and now, here are your hosts, Emily Morse and Chris Jericho.
We're here. How's everyone doing tonight? Unbelievable. The 10th Annual Podcast Awards. probably the greatest night of my life.
I love that.
Right?
Mine too.
In Vegas?
You guys, this is amazing. And who knew? 10. Oh, I know. I was actually at the first one. Anyone else at the first one? Right. No one knew what a podcast was. Oh, a few of us. Yeah, I was like in Norm Pattinson's backyard or something. I know. Or like a little elevator. I get it. But now
The only
podcast,
award winners were Adam Curry and Wolfman Jack.
something like that. Yeah. long time ago. And now 10 years.
But we're here 10th. Yeah, give it up for the 10th annual Podcast Awards.
People who know how to download a
Right?
podcast.
Exactly.
Make a podcast.
And we're excited. We have a successful podcast. My podcast is Talk is Jericho.
That's true. That's a good one. Mine's called Sex with Emily.
And tonight we're starting a new podcast. It's going to be Sex Talk with Emily Jericho.
Yeah, we thought that'd be fun because we both. I mean,
Talk Sex with Emily Jericho?
yeah.
Either one.
Yeah,
Could
talk
work.
sex. Whatever. Let's
What?
just talk sex. That's just my favorite
Let's just
thing
talk
to do.
sex now. Anyone have any issues?
Talk dirty.
Yeah, talk
I think
dirty.
we could do this.
We we can
Ooh,
split
yeah,
that.
split that.
That's kind of sexual right
I was
there.
just gonna say that
isn't
seems
it?
sexual. Reminds me of a vibrator that I have at home.
Wow.
I have a lot of them.
It's the
part of the
shocker.
job. They sent them to me.
It's the shocker
Um,
microphone.
but-
Actually, but Talk is Jericho. People are laughing. You've heard about the shocker? What a crowd we have here tonight. Yes, wow, here's to the shocker. Big pop for the shocker. Talk is Jericho is my podcast. It deals with many things. A lot of people know me best for my work in the WWE. Where 2 people know me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I know. I met him tonight.
Thank
He's
you, thank
awesome.
you. Most famous for my work groping half-naked men while slathered in oil in our underwear.
Oh, wait. That totally sounds like an episode of my podcast. The guys that call in, though, they've got some issues with that. But hey, we're so much alike.
So we're so excited.
I know, wrestling and sex.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's wrestling and sex, exactly. That should be the name of our podcast.
That's it. You guys
Wrestling
help us
and
by the end of the night
sex.
because we've got this good thing
got
going,
it.
can't you
The
tell?
10th annual Podcast Awards. It's funny because I wasn't aware that there was another 9 before
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I was
I
there,
wasn't
yeah.
sure about that, but you were there. It's funny because there's a prompter up front and it's kind of really
Okay,
far
we didn't know
behind.
there was. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
The prompter, they're like, no prompter. We're like, okay, now there's a prompter. So
They told us we had to have a prompter because that's what award shows do. But this is different from every other award show.
Right.
This is the 10th annual Podcast Award Show, Talking Sex with Emily Jericho.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have come a long way since the very first Podcast Award Show. And now there's over 10,000 podcasts worldwide. Some of the world's most interesting, charismatic, funny people have podcasts.
there's huge podcasts, right?
And Snooki has one too.
I know, Snooki. Well, if Snooki can do it, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah, and we've got the biggest podcast in the world from Adam Carolla and Joe Rogan and American Life. And there's
All
also
the NPR. People love it, right?
NPR.
Serial.
Lesser known ones, the Head Up Your Ass podcast.
Yep, exactly.
That's actually a real podcast. And my favorite, Yoda Squirt.
Why hasn't Yoda been on my show yet if he squirts? That just seems like it'd be such a no-brainer. I didn't know about that.
But we've actually found that not everybody tonight here, not all the podcasts get nominated. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones, but there's some really, really horrible ones. And we've compiled a list of the top 10 worst podcasts in the world today.
Right. Just to make you all feel better, right? About
you
your
don't
own
win,
podcast.
right.
If you don't win, whatever. Okay, number 10. Ready? The ISIS Laugh Your Head Off Comedy Hour.
Number 9, The Hour of Truth with Brian Williams.
Number 8, Loveline 2015 with Bill Cosby.
Number 7, Radio Meth Lab. You had to think about that one.
Number 6, 50 Shades of Hay, the podcast for horses by horses.
Number 5, The Joe Rogan Experience.
Number 4, The Turdist. Nerdist. Dude,
I wrote that one, actually, so. Number 4, The Turdist. All right. Number 3, Cock is Jericho.
Cock is Jericho. Cock is Jericho.
That'd be good.
That, if ours doesn't work out, you try
We
that.
discuss roosters, of
Right.
course. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. Come on
My
now.
mind's always in the gutter. Number 2, Patent Trolls Tonight with Adam Carolla.
And the number 1 worst podcast in the world today, Bruce Jenner's Don't You Just Hate Your Penis.
Okay.
The top 10 worst podcasts in the world today, people.
Okay, but first we have to thank our sponsors. As we often do, podcasting, we'd be nowhere without our sponsors. And ZipRecruiter. Hiring, pain in the ass. Anyone here try to hire lately? Not an easy thing to hire people for your business. And as a business owner, your company is only as good as your employees. So ZipRecruiter makes it so easy for you because you know you gotta like post on Craigslist or Entertainment Careers and you get all these crazy losers. But if you go to ZipRecruiter, they aggregate it all. They post it for you. They make it all happen. It's a one-stop shop. Because who's got time to look at all those weirdos who are sending you things? You're like, cover letter, resume. They're like, I'd like the job. And you're like, what? Does that happen to you? Really? ZipRecruiter makes it so much easier.
Makes it so much easier. I can tell you that your company is only as good as the people you hire. I can also tell you that posting your job in one place is not enough to find quality employees. But when you're short-staffed, as we often are on our podcast,
yes, we are.
We have a staff of one, there's no time to deal with the dozens of different job sites until now. Thanks to ZipRecruiter.com, I can post to 100 plus job sites with one single click. Did you know that?
Like I did. See,
one click. And
I've spent my whole life trying to
looking
click
for this.
This is all I've ever wanted. This is all I've ever wanted.
And now with one click, Emily, you can have the highest possible chance of finding that perfect candidate. Just post once, and within 24 hours, watch your candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. ZipRecruiter has been used by over 300,000 businesses. Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
You can try it right now for free. Getting the right people for your company is so important. Try ZipRecruiter now, man, and get your perfect candidate before they go to somebody else today. You can try ZipRecruiter for free. How do you do that?
God, you go to, ZipRecruiter.com/podcast. That's easy to remember, podcast. That's ZipRecruiter.com/podcast. And you'll find the right people for your company, because we all need that, right? And I wish I thought of this, ZipRecruiter, that and Post-its.
We could have made millions, yeah, and whiteout.
But instead, podcasting.
ZipRecruiter.com/podcast. Do it today!
Tonight's 10th Annual Podcast Awards is proudly sponsored by PodcastOne.com. Ready and leading the way with over 200 podcasts for you to choose from and an easy-to-use app so you can listen wherever and whenever you want. Hey, sports lovers, Podcast One's got the biggest names in the game. Dan Patrick, Rich Eisen, Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Chael Sonnen, and a whole lot more. Get the lowdown on your sport of choice at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
I look very surly in that picture. You're all smiling like,
podcast award. That's good though, because you like wrestle, and I'm like,
I guess. But tonight I have to be happy. We're smiling. It's a happy day.
You're happy. Who's happy?
Right,
Who's happy? Okay.
The hosts of our shows in the travel category have already covered Vegas pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. We hung out with them last night. They showed us the best breakfast buffet. I guess they're all different. Cirque du Soleil. You got to do that when you're here. And I was actually really impressed because we did just meet, but that was like the quickest I've ever seen anyone get arrested in Las Vegas in my entire life. So good job.
Yeah, public urination, not the coolest thing to get charged for, but in my defense, I did think that the giant fountains in Caesar's Palace were really big urinals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about right there. You've done it before.
Yeah. So we had to get him out of jail. It was a messy day, but here we are. But the travel people, they're our people, they're our heroes. They help us travel the world. I love it. And okay, so our
nominees are?
Our nominees are, we're getting this down.
WDW Radio, CoasterRadio.com, Wedway Radio, Mousetalgia, The Budget-Minded Traveler, The Faroe Islands Podcast, Amateur Traveler, Just Japan, Daily Travel Podcast, Special Mouse Podcast.
Wow, there's so many.
And the winner is...
Where's that?
WDW Radio!
Wow. First and foremost, it really is an honor to be nominated with so many amazing people. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Whenever I talk about my show and podcasting, people ask me what it's about, and I say it's about people. And this award and the nomination is because of and by and for the community of people that make WW Radio happen and allow me to pursue my passion every day and share it with them. So thanks to them, thanks to all of you, every NMX Podcast Awards. Appreciate it.
All right. The first winner has been announced. Now he gets to go backstage and hang out with all the strippers.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas, man. Come on.
What else are we going to have?
We've got numerous shows featured in our next category, the best business podcast.
Yeah, which are so important, right? Especially in this business. We need to know a little bit more about the business, right? So they cover a wide range of views on the subject matter, from strange practices to investment advice.
And I don't need investment advice because I invested in Amway.
How's that going for you?
Well, I'm still waiting for my first check, but I have some real good indication. Yeah, Amway Brothers.
I could do, I think I wish the business podcasts were around when I started, because I think I should do a podcast, all the ways you shouldn't make money trying to do a podcast, because I tried them all, they didn't work. I should have listened to them.
I was a pizza chef, didn't make any money. It was bad.
No.
So
but,
don't use that.
These business people, we should definitely listen to these podcasts. They're important.
They are important, and
artists, we don't listen to the business usually, but this is why we need them.
And we need them, and the nominees are
Marketplace, Read to Lead, Freakonomics, Planet Money, Startup, Beyond the To-Do List, Smart Passive Income, The Dave Ramsey Show, The Side Hustle Show, The Disciplined Investor.
Wow, that should have been us.
What?
All right, Emily.
Okay, the winner is
Freakonomics.
I read it. I've listened to the podcast. Congratulations to Freakonomics.
The people from Freakonomics are too busy making business deals and making money instead of being here like us partying. So
right, exactly. They're like, forget that.
On behalf of Freakonomics, we accept the award. All right.
Okay. This category is for best comedy, and that's kind of a tough one to judge, because
right,
who's not funny? I'm funny.
Who defines comedy?
Podcast?
Is it by the biggest laughs, by the number of laughs, by the biggest number of wacky clowns?
Exactly.
I mean, what exactly is funny?
Podcast. I don't really know. I mean, these are all these people, they are excellent creators of comedy, the podcasts that they pick. So people probably laugh more. I don't want just a laugh meter, yours is on, mine is on, and these one you go, now they're laughing more. And then I don't feel as funny. But that's cool that, it's important that these people are.
I want to see the comedy podcast guys hanging out with the business podcast guys later.
I know.
Well, that's a party.
Right, like some chicken wings in the back.
That's a party, that's right.
Hey, yeah.
How are you?
401k.
So your nominees are
Barstool Sports Mail Time, The Adam Carolla Show, A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, What Say You, My Brother, and Me, Comedy Bang Bang, the podcast, The Detroit Cast, No Such Thing as a Fish, The Morning Stream, WTF with Mark Maron.
And tonight's comedy award is sponsored by MeUndies, which I'm currently wearing right now.
Are you going to show them?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Very nice. They're black.
Okay.
They're velvet. They're spectacular.
I love MeUndies.
Thank you
Later,
very
stick around. We're going to see. I have them on too, but we'll talk about that later.
And the winner is
The Morning Stream.
Holy shit, the suspense, right? I mean, not that we expected, just that they showed the slide first. That's what I'm saying. I just realized how that could have sounded. First off, I need to thank Scott Johnson, who is at home in Salt Lake City right now, honoring his Las Vegas restraining order. I've got to thank Scott because 4 years ago, he invited me to join him on this ride called the Morning Stream. And this last year, Scott had a colonoscopy and was lucky enough to allow his wife, Kim, to record him coming out of the anesthesia, where she asked him, what is the morning stream? Describe the morning stream, to which he said, it's poop jokes and Brian. So I'm standing here accepting this award, and I want to say thank you to the fans, the tadpole, the contributors, all of our great guests, and of course, to Poop Jokes.
You can tell why that guy was funny?
Yeah.
He had a funny hat.
Yeah, exactly.
All funny people have funny
Give
hats.
away, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time we're going to go shopping after.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I want to be nominated for that next
hat.
year. Okay, but this one, we have to extend our pinky finger out for this one.
Well, yes,
it's very
we do.
important. It's the Culture and Arts Podcast category.
The Culture and Arts Podcast is very, very, very snooty.
Very important. I know, exactly. I feel like, that we should give them the respect that they deserve. They're doing an important service.
We're very much refined here at this crowd tonight in Las Vegas. We all know about culture, so everyone put your pinkies out as you take your drink. Yes, exactly. This is Las Vegas. It's the culture capital
It's a good
of
time.
the world.
Exactly.
Don't you know? And your nominees are for the Culture Broadcast.
Juan Epstein, Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast,
Yeah.
Opera Now,
Yeah.
Eddie Trunk Podcast, Cemetery Confessions, Pop Culture Happy Hour, This American Life, 99% Invisible, Flowing into Awareness, Bullseye Exposed.
Okay.
Your winner?
The winner, Chris. Okay, I'll do it. I have to. This American Life.
Yes, very good.
Love This American Life, all right.
This American Life is far too cultured to be here with the heathens tonight.
I understand. They'd be like, sex with Emily, wrestling, I'm out. But
yeah,
that's
exactly.
cool. We
So
respect
snobby.
it.
Those This American Life guys.
I know.
Just total snobs. Right?
I respect them, and
Man.
they won't call me back.
All
It's
right.
cool.
You guys having fun? You're not snobs, right?
Best
Come
time
on,
ever.
who's out there? You having fun?
Best time ever.
You guys need a couple more drinky winkies.
Are there drinks?
Yeah, please. Are
Is
there
that the
drinks? There's
problem?
a
Are you
bar
guys
over
not
there.
drunk enough? It's cool. We could get a bar.
I think the problem is we're too drunk.
Okay.
All right.
We're not yet. Okay, but listen. This one is our entertainment podcast, right? Or not? No, we just, just entertainment.
So entertaining.
There is a trend. There's quite a trend in the entertainment nominees.
The entertaining aspect of these entertainment podcasts just entertains me to the highest degree, and I'm very entertained by all of the entertaining people and subjects that are on the entertainment podcasts.
Well, it's so entertaining that you say that because I feel like entertaining by nature is entertaining. Like I'm entertaining, our podcasts are entertaining. Like what we all do is entertaining. So how do you say what is entertaining?
And we're here in the entertainment capital of the world. How apropos is that?
That's so entertaining.
Right? It's very entertaining.
It's entertaining.
You know what else is
Very
entertaining? The nominees.
Yes, the
nominees, man.
That's it.
Rob has a podcast, Brandy Glanville Unfiltered, The Talking Dead, Star Wars in Character, The One Piece Podcast, What Say You? The Walker Stalkers Podcast, Taylor Talk, The Taylor Swift Podcast, The Walking Dead Cast, The Blacklist Exposed.
Wow.
Okay, and this is also a MeUndies sponsor. Are you going to show us your underwear or are you just going to talk about it all night?
I just want to talk about it a bit more. I don't get a chance to talk about my underwear in public.
MeUndies sponsor. The winner is Rob Has a Podcast. And a selfie stick. Get it, Rob. Get it, get it, get it. Don't miss it.
We're getting so many hearts on Periscope right now. Oh my God, this is the most hearts I've ever seen. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. Everybody out there that voted real quick. I want to thank so many people on my team that helped out. Scott St. Pierre for all the work that you do. Josh Wigler, Stephen Fishback, Antonio Mazzaro, Mike Bloom, Kurt Clark, Jessica Least, Spicin. I got to thank my beautiful wife, Nicole, who's at home watching, and my little son, Dominic. Daddy says, let's go Mets. And thanks so much to the community of Rob Has a Podcast. You guys did this, and thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
Photobomb! I photobombed his thing. He's so pro.
He's so pro.
I'm just going to walk
He's
around
much more
with
pro than us.
stick.
The thing that I found out something that Taylor talked, there's actually a Taylor Swift podcast. I mean, how am I missing out on this?
I don't know. Where have you
Right?
been?
I mean, come
know.
on. I need to know if Taylor Swift wears MeUndies. There's a free one for our great
Yeah,
sponsors.
exactly. We
Emily,
love that.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Did you
sure.
know that when Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit 451, that he came up with the title by having firefighters burn a book and seeing what temperature that book burnt at? Did you know that?
I didn't know that, and I'm surprised that you know that. No
yes,
offense.
I do know
but
that.
Yeah. Did you also know that it's actually not true that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? I learned that today.
Wow. I did not know all these things. Did you know that the Dutch East India Delivering Company was the most valuable in history, worth an adjusted value of over $7 trillion?
What?
Do you know how I know this?
No, Chris, are you reciting facts that you just learned
Yes, I did.
from
I
your
learned this from the
podcast?
education podcast.
Oh, okay, got it. They make you smarter.
And you know what's very
seem smarter.
strange? That
Tell
there's some
me.
nominees coming up right now.
Oh my God, I want to hear
What a
it.
coincidence.
Nominees
Yay.
for the education podcast.
The
All right.
History Chicks, Grammar Girl, the podcast history of our world, Carcast, Hardcore History, Stuff You Should Know, Paleocast, Smart People Podcast, Stuff You Missed in History Class, History of the Christian Church.
There's a big brouhaha going out there.
I know.
Is someone getting a
What's
fight?
going on? We want to know. You guys aren't talking to us. I feel like we.
Oh, those weren't the education? Oh, okay, you guys at home, they actually spelled education wrong.
It was part of the comedy thing.
No, so-
we were being on purpose.
Whoever's doing the Chiron did not listen to the education podcasts, right?
We know who needs that now.
We do know who needs that. We know who needs the winner. What's the winner,
The
Emily?
winner is the Hardcore History podcast. Congratulations. Hardcore! Hardcore History.
When they told the fine people at Hardcore History they were going to win the award, they said, I'm not showing up. They're probably going to spell education wrong.
Yeah, those podcasters, they're funny. They're not
Those
that bright.
Not
so.
good at spelling, those idiot podcasters.
Okay, well, our next category, I think, is loved by all, right? We all have to eat, we all have to drink. So this is the food and drink. They are pioneers of the medium. They get to go out and drink and eat for free, which doesn't actually sound that bad. I get a lot of sex toys, like I said, for free.
But that's why
Condoms,
I'm
perks.
here, because everything is free. All the food and drink is free. That's why I showed up.
Really, where? You have to pay for stuff, dude.
What?
They're not paying for it. Who do you think's paying for it? PodcastOne's paying for everything? I mean, they're sponsoring, but
They're not paying for your food and drinks here?
not really, no. I mean, have you eaten anything yet? No.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, maybe you should go, because unless there's a credit card, I don't know. Not true. Okay, so here's the nominees. Ready? Nominees for food and drink, which is so important. And where the hell do you eat in Las Vegas? I'd like to talk to you all after.
The
Nominees.
Beerists Podcast, The Alton Brown Cast, The Sporkful, ABV Chicago, The Splendid Table, Spilt Table, Dinner Party Download, Totally Beverages and sometimes hot sauce, Brutal Battle, Dining with Doug and Karen.
And the winner is, this is another MeUndies sponsor. The winner is the Alton Browncast. Congratulations. Are you here? Okay. Congratulations, everyone. All right, Chris, I gotta talk to you. Where the hell have you been?
There's actually something funny, though. We
Tell me
are,
everything.
see this X over here, we're supposed to be over here.
Oh, we are?
Because, yeah, apparently that's just a dummy mic. You know, you guys can still
but
hear
we-
us, right? And we were thinking when we first came out here, it's like, why the hell are you putting us on the side of the stage? And then this is the
They
reason
just
why.
told you halfway through now?
There's an X right here, which apparently means
We
this
just
is
met
our
like
cue.
literally 10 minutes ago, but we're having fun. Who's having fun, right?
And we're the ones actually who wrote education wrong. So there you go. Thank you very much. And the good news is
Okay.
I did pay my food and drink bill.
You did.
So I'm not going to get arrested again. So I can continue
That's awesome.
the podcast.
I'm so glad we can finish it.
I'm happy to
and
be
now
here.
we're all in the right place, so
Yes,
things to look it up.
It feels my feng shui is way better
I know. I was
here
like, why are we
than it was over there. I know, and now it's so much better. So
Okay.
Okay.
So I know you guys
Can
are
you
really
see us
focused
better?
on that.
Is the lighting better here?
Better? Is everyone happier?
Good.
Okay, because I want everyone to be super happy because this is the Podcast Awards.
Yay! The 10th annual Podcast Awards. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
So I want to know, Chris, because we're just getting to know each other.
Right.
What kind of games do you play?
Wow. Are you talking about games that would fit on your podcast? Sexual games?
Actually, I would love to talk about sexual games, but no. We're talking about the gaming podcast. We
Oh,
can talk about that
video
after.
games.
Video games.
Gotcha. Okay.
like
Enjoy.
Strip poker? Oh,
That's not a video game. Actually, that'd be great on the Xbox.
Why couldn't
Strip
we do
poker on
that?
the Xbox.
Can we talk about
Probably
the
in
sex
Wii,
Xbox?
maybe? In the
Yeah,
Wii?
oh, the Wii
The
and
sex
sex.
box. The
What?
sex box.
That's a TV show
That's
now,
what we
actually,
need.
but they
It's
should
perfect.
have
It's
do
a
they
pilot.
have that? Okay,
I play Halo, Call of Duty, a little Minecraft.
Okay.
Sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd be more of like a wrestling game guy.
No, I did play those games for a while, but I got sick of playing with myself.
Oh.
How are ya?
Sounds like a lot of the guys.
It's funny, when I wrote that down, I said, that's going to get a real groaning reaction. And I was right, it's a groaner.
He plays
It's a
by
groaner.
himself, yeah.
Exactly.
But I was like, that sounds like
Yes.
a lot of the guys who email me during
Absolutely.
the podcast. So we could totally help you with that playing alone by yourself thing.
And
Okay.
the nominees
gaming,
are
Gaming Podcast.
The Patch, Rage Select, Retronauts, 4-Player Network, Trinity Force Podcast, Priority One Podcast, Super Best Friend Cast, Giant Bomb Cast, The Instance, Gamer Tag Radio.
And the winner is The Instance. Is it the same guy?
I don't know what the next thing is.
Just two of you talking.
You've seen him.
So did you miss me?
It's the hat.
So I'm Scott Johnson. I want to thank everybody for. I just said he was in Salt Lake City. That's why that was kind of funny. No, Scott couldn't be here tonight, as I mentioned, but I'm accepting this on his behalf with Chris. We're both fan supporters and sometimes guests on the show. So this goes out to Scott, to Dills, to Terpster, and to Patrick, and of course to Randy, and everyone who's been a part of the Instance over the years. For the Horde!
Happy rating.
Congrats, man. Wow. There you go.
Nice.
Man. See, I told you that guy was funny.
I know.
You could tell by his funny hat.
Fun
See,
shopping
that was
after
my
this.
theory, and I was right.
You're
Funny
so
hat.
right. He wins 2. Who else wins 2?
Funny hat.
Okay, next category, very important, LGBT community podcast, okay? I mean, they talk about everything on these podcasts. It's not just like limited to like lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. They'll talk about everything.
Floral arrangements.
But that's, yeah, but they can
Sports.
also talk about like horror movies and stuff. It doesn't limit it to floral arrangements.
Horror movies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Queer Eye for the Straight Guy analyzing Freddy Krueger's tacky sweater.
That
Now
would
that would be good.
Would be brilliant.
Oh my gosh, his sweater's so terrible.
Oh my
That
gosh.
sounded more like
really?
Seinfeld. If Seinfeld was gay, he might sound like that.
He might.
What's the deal with Freddy Krueger's sweater?
What's the deal? Why is it so ugly? Who killed who? We just want to see the blood.
Let's see some nominees.
Yeah, nominees.
All right.
Okay, LGBT community. Let's see.
Psychobabble, Cocktails and Cream Puffs, Throwing Shade, This Show is So Gay, The Thirst, Scream Queens, Feast of Fun, Flame On, Homo Ground, Straight Talk with Ross Matthews.
Wow, there's some good names in that one.
There are
I like
some
This
good
Show
names.
is So Gay.
I know.
And
What's it about, you think? Okay.
And how apropos is this that there's another sponsor read from MeUndies.
MeUndies.
Yes,
They're awesome. You guys just know you can like buy underwear online.
MeUndies they're great for both sexes.
Yeah, men, women.
And any sexual orientation you have, MeUndies is there for you.
We're cool.
But listen to this.
Yeah.
The winner is, guess we have a tie.
Oh my God, we have a tie.
How can you have a tie at the 10th Annual Podcast Awards where we have one right now?
Okay.
And the winners are Psychobabble
and Throwing Shade. Oh. The guy with the hat's coming up. Oh.
He's coming to accept them both.
So we're not throwing shade. We're Psychobabble. Where's throwing shade though? Shady that they didn't come. So thank you so much for having us. This has been the best. Thank you to our listeners. They are our favorite people. We made our podcast and we just wanted to hang out with each other. And now we get to do this. So it's the best life in the world.
Awesome. And thanks to everyone behind the scenes that helps take care of us. Everyone at PodTrack, Tim, Emma, thank you.
Yay, that's all. Thank you. Later.
Good job, guys. Congratulations. My pleasure.
Congratulations.
I was expecting the guy in the funny hat to come up and accept them both.
I know, it's crazy. I want him to accept.
I want him to win every award now.
Me too, because he's like the funny one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now this next category is particularly enigmatic.
Good
I
word.
think you'll find it. Thanks.
It's a good word.
I've been listening to some education podcasts, but no, really, this one, it's the general category, which is generally about stuff that you're interested in. Like
Schwarzkopf, Lee, motors, mills, foods.
Yeah, like stuff like
knowledge.
Yeah, like bottled water and like chandeliers and stuff. What's happening?
Yeah. Lots of different. There's just a lot of stuff.
Anything you want to know.
Yeah, anything you want to know.
There's a lot of
general,
stuff.
General.
Just general, like basic,
stuff
general,
podcast.
etc. Like
Ooh, etc.
etc.
What does etc. stand for?
Like etc. etc. Oh no, etc. It's Latin, right? Okay, I like education more. All right, the nominees for general podcast.
Internet Box, Stuff I Learned Yesterday, DNA Today, Serial, The Productive Woman, Vassals of Kingsgrave, Success Freaks, The Satellite Sisters, Hello Internet, XJ Talk Show.
And your winner is Internet Box.
Internet Box?
Apparently, Internet Box was the only nominee in that category that did not show up.
Bummer. Okay, well,
I really want to know, though, does anybody know what etc. stands for? See? We need to know. That must be some kind of thing. Okay.
Is it Latin? Whatever. Let's all discuss with drinks after.
Discuss
okay.
amongst yourselves.
The next
Health and
category,
fitness.
health and fitness. This is a big one because these are the kind that you listen to and you feel super guilty. You're like, God, I should be doing crunches right now. But like it somehow makes you want to order a pizza sometimes. Does that ever happen to anyone? Yeah. But these are important podcasts. They have helped a lot of people get in shape.
Whenever I listen to those pretentious, sanctimonious sons of bitches at Marathon Training Academy, I just want to go stuff my face with Kentucky Fried Chicken just to spite them. All right, health and fitness, watch me get fat as I listen to your stupid podcast.
I think you're sabotaging yourself, man. Just listen to it. Do some reps, okay? The nominees for health and fitness are
Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine, Runner Academy, The Angriest Trainer, The Dr. Drew Podcast, Marathon Training Academy, Mental Illness Happy Hour, Ben Greenfield Fitness, Magical Medical Tour, The Primal Blueprint Podcast, Recovered Podcast.
And the winner is?
the Dr. Drew Podcast. And I'm supposed to accept for Dr. Drew. Do I walk over there? I am. You didn't know this.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay, so I'd like to accept this for Dr. Drew. Congratulations, Drew. He can't be here. I actually co-host Love Line with him on Thursday nights, and I'm sure he'd be thrilled to win in this category. And we're so happy. So he's happy. If he was here, he would tell you that he was happy and honored. And I know he loves podcasting because that's what he does 16 hours a day. All right. Pretend I'm Dr. Drew. Really serious. All right, so going back to this one. Thanks. Okay.
The best part of all was there was actually kind of a little bit of a groan when Dr. Drew was like, that guy again. How is Dr. Drew a health and fitness podcast?
Because he talks about
sex,
mental health.
Sex and stuff?
No, not really sex, but speaking of which, that's our next category.
What a great segue that was.
I didn't even mean it.
realize that either.
It's kind of happened. It's funny because it's the mature category. And when I first saw that, I'm like, mature, like people who like pay their taxes on time and don't get parking tickets and stuff like that. But it's actually like the sex
We
and
should
health
probably
stuff.
turn the lights down for the mature category, right?
Yeah, turn the lights down, some music.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yes, mature category.
Yeah, exactly. So from like, yeah, it does feel mature. I was so happy I paid my taxes yesterday on time. I'm not kidding you. That felt mature. I was like, I'm not grown up.
You gotta say it in a very white voice.
Let's get it on. Let's
Sleepycast
to Savage Lovecast, to my own personal favorite Sex with Emily podcast. The mature category is the best of serious, hard-hitting topics like sex and squirting and boners and deeply, deeply personal life stories that you all have, because sex affects everybody on the planet.
And squirting boners.
Squirting boners. Yeah.
That's a thing,
Some
right?
of them know
That's a
squirt.
thing.
Everybody squirts.
Some of
and
them
everybody
squirt.
poops.
If
you
you're
know
lucky,
that book?
that's right.
Okay, so we don't, officially condone that. But anyway, so the winners are...
Nominees.
Nominees.
The nominees
Sorry,
are.
not the winners. The nominees. The nominees.
Loveline, Sex with Emily, Savage Lovecast, Swing with Holly and Michael, Risk, Sick and Wrong, Jim and Them, Night Attack, Sex Nerd Sandra, Sleepycast.
Okay, and your winner is Night Attack. It's gonna be okay with that.
He's running up here, man. He's excited. Look at this.
Oh my God, so nice to meet you. Congrats.
In your face, losers. No. Seriously, thank you guys so much. As you guys know, we recently went independent. I want to thank my co-host, Justin Robert Young, for joining me on this ridiculous experiment that has gone for, 7 years and counting. Thanks mainly to Chatrealm. You guys are the wind of my butt when I fart. Thank you.
Congrats. How's everyone doing? Woo! Exciting. Okay, because I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
I'm still thinking about squirting boners.
I know, right?
I'm having a great
This
time.
is how my right brain works.
I know, you're rubbing
You're like,
off on
how's
me.
your day? I'm like, did you just say squirting boner? Like, everything sounds like sex to me, but that's another thing. Okay.
Listeners, we've got a lot of different
We have a
topics here.
lot of different topics.
Go
We're
from sex to music, as a matter
Right,
of fact. And
exactly.
listeners who are lucky enough to discover the shows in our music category are introduced to new artists, new genres, even new instruments like the didgeridoo, the hurdy-gurdy, and the wave organ.
Oh, I talk about wave organs on my show all the time, like those wave
That's
organs.
a visual. You can play the wave organ?
I totally can, actually. That's like my one
Wow.
skill.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, let's see who the nominees are.
All right.
Playing wave organs.
Coverville, Americana Music Show, Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, Unsigned EDM Podcast, Song Extender, B2K Radio, All Songs Considered, The Bugcast, The Pound 00 Show, Rhino the Bearded, Freight Train Boogie.
And your winner is Coverville! Let's hear that chant again.
So, my hat's funny, is it? Does it
What, like a clown funny? Does it amuse you? Does it amuse you, Chris Jericho? How is it funny? Tell me how is it funny?
It's funny.
It's really funny.
I'm buying a hat.
I'm gonna let you finish. But first, a daily download with Adam Curry, the best freaking music podcast ever. What? And from the Helicarrier's best gaming podcast, right?
That's right, buddy.
And you're the best dude in the world.
I'll make this quick because you're sick as shit of seeing me up here. This goes out to 3 groups of people, and I hope I can remember them. First off, the musicians, the labels, the licensing agencies that let me do this show. There's actually some in the audience tonight. James and Svet from Same Sex Mary. Big hand for them. Let me play their music on the show. Second of all, it's the listeners, of course. It's the people who are Coverville citizens. It's the people who listen to the show. It's the people who subscribe day after day and listen to sometimes really bad music that I think is really good, but I try and convince them, and it doesn't work. But most of all, and I think kind of we can all agree on this, the third people that we have to thank are our friends and our family, our loved ones, our spouses, who put up with us disappearing for hours at a time in the basement, working on RSS feeds until 2 o'clock in the morning, making sure our feeds look good, making sure our websites are working, things like that. So that's this goes out to Tina and Tristan, who've put up with my crap for the last 10 years in doing this show, and thank you.
That guy's like the funniest man in America.
On the planet, apparently.
The planet.
Yeah.
It's like Lionel Richie at the
so
1983 Grammy Awards.
Totally. That was a good time.
All right.
Let the
Lionel
music
Richie won a lot of
play on,
Grammys.
play on,
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
Dancing on the ceiling. I'm a little upset though. I got to tell you something, Emily.
Why are you upset? Talk
I
to me.
got
You
something
seem so
stuck in my
happy.
Well, I'm not
Go,
happy.
talk.
I was happy till this next category came up. I'm a little upset with the creators of the podcast in the film and television category.
Why? They're like too funny or something? Why?
No.
What?
Because I've been shopping my script for Chris Jericho, Human Centipede for Hire, for years, and no one's responded or turned it into a film yet.
Dude, you live in LA, take a number. Like, whose script hasn't been made,
It's
right?
Human Centipede. Chris Jericho's a Human Centipede. Who wouldn't want to see that?
No, I mean, they would, totally. I would be the first one there, but, you know, it happens. It's part of the business.
Yeah, well, they are always bragging about Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg. You know, they should accept my script and do something with it.
I'll make some calls for you.
Please do.
I totally will.
Please.
Continue your dream,
It's my
baby.
dream.
Just, you know, don't give up on the dream.
I will never.
Your nominees are...
Movie Spoilers Podcast, Rooster Teeth Screenplay, The Hollywood Outsider, Guilty Film Podcast, How Did This Get Made, Film Sack, Sci-Fi Movie Podcast, Animation Addicts Podcast, The Flophouse, http://schmozno.com/
And the winner is Film Sack. Dude, is that real? How does he do 18 podcasts? Is that dope? For real? I don't think this is a joke that I don't know.
We just set up a table for you.
You literally host 18 podcasts? Like what? Explain. Go talk. Go. I don't want to take over for you.
Again, big thanks to, I'm going to be short, Randy, Randy Jordan, Scott Johnson, Brian Dunaway, The Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, The Piano. All those are movies we never watch on Film Sack. No, we have to watch crap like Leprechaun and Cyborg and Retrograde and Troll 2. But I want to officially announce that I'm going to be starting up a sex podcast.
There goes my
Gay and
life.
lesbian podcast. What else? Exercise podcast. So, no, thanks again. It's an honor. It really is an honor, and thank you guys so much. And
Sir, you're like so politics or something. Next podcast.
They were so sick. They're so sick of hearing from him. They cut his mic.
I know, they're like, what up?
That's like the most famous guy in the place that I've never heard of.
Do you think
before.
we just need a hat? I don't know.
My goodness.
I mean, really, like, I don't know what else to say.
You're going to see him in about 3 hours hawking those awards for gambling money.
I know. I don't know this. Right, this guy, right. I'm skeptical. Okay, but politics and news.
Politics and news.
Okay, they cover a wide range of categories going on in our world. These are very important podcasts to listen to.
They are, but we should stay neutral because you never talk about politics or religion.
And
We love all parties.
Yeah.
Democratic Party.
Right, Republicans.
Libertarian.
Right, the whole thing. The rent is too damn high, you know.
The green face category.
Yeah, exactly.
People sitting at tables at podcast award shows.
People who hate cats.
Is that a party?
No, but there's a lot of
They'll
people who
never
hate
win.
cats. Like, I
Those
want
guys
one
will
and
never
everyone
win.
hates them. No,
They'll never
probably
have a
not.
chance.
That's true.
All right, the
What a
nominees
cat.
are
Majority Report, No Agenda with Adam Curry, Common Sense, Congressional Dish, Bob and Shez Show, Slate Political Gabfest, Best of the Left, Cognitive Dissonance, Democracy Now!, The Rachel Maddow Show.
And the award goes to Majority Report.
I think the guy's coming.
Yay!
Wow!
You run, you go, you won it! Real excited.
I want to thank the guy for the hat for not doing a political podcast. So thank you. I also want to thank my producers, Matt and Michael. Michael's probably at a wine bar right now, pre-celebrating. Matt's at home, I know, hopefully ripping this off of the YouTube, and we're going to post it in a day or two. I want to thank Kyle, who made this show possible. And of course, I want to thank our audience. This is the fourth one we've won, and they give me the opportunity to talk about some really arcane Supreme Court cases and interview people about Medicare policy and make fun of right-wingers. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right, man. It's funny. He said that he won 4 podcasts.
I know, 4 podcast awards.
Whoop-de frickin' do.
I know, I've won
I've won 0. Yeah, I've won 4 podcasts. Funny hat guy. I've won 4
Whatever, I just did 3,000. It's cool. I don't need to win awards. What does it mean?
Boy.
But the
let me
most
say, let
important
me
thing is,
continue. I believe it was Christ, Jesus, who said, "All the world's a stage, and we are merely players."
I like that you believe that to be true, and I love that you're so emphatic about it. It was actually Shakespeare.
No, it was Christ, Jesus.
No, I'm not sure.
I think you need to listen to some of our nominees from our next award,
what
the
is
Religion
that?
podcast.
Oh,
you should
figures.
know the quotes of Jesus.
Yeah,
It might help
I'm a
you with
Jew,
your, might help you with
but
your sex
I know
talk
that's not
show.
right. Yeah, sex could help with sex, but okay. What are the nominees? For spiritual, religious.
The
podcast.
Scathing Atheist, Mormon Faircast, Infants on Thrones, Mormon Discussion, My Book of Mormon, The Sci-Fi Christian, Are You Just Watching, More Than One Lesson, The Thinking Atheist, Paula White's Hope for Today.
Wow. A lot of atheists and Mormons.
It's true.
In this,
Popular. It's trending.
The
Okay.
award is, the winner is?
The winner is The Scathing Atheist.
Nice.
Go, you Scathing Atheist.
I'll accept the award for the Scathing Atheist, even though I don't believe in the Scathing Atheist, but I'm not saying that it's not real. Think about that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, so our next category.
Tonight's 10th Annual Podcast Awards is proudly sponsored by PodcastOne.com with over 200 podcasts for you to choose from. Hey, want to be the guy all your friends wish they were? Well, then just listen to or get some serious and sometimes funny advice from The Art of Charm, The Chive, Loveline the Podcast, Sex with Emily, KFC Radio. Oh, and of course, Adam Carolla.
I'm done apologizing.
Be that guy. You can thank us later at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
All right,
Podcast
that was
One, love
smooth.
That's how I listen to my podcast.
It's always nice to let the hosts know when there's going to be an ad read.
Yeah. But it was fun because they mentioned our podcast.
We found out about it with all of you.
And our ego, like,
great.
that was
Yes,
good
it was
that they
great.
mentioned. Okay, all right, next category, sports. We need to stress to all of our nominees, it's not a competition, even though it's sports.
No, it's not a competition. It's a fan-voted podcast, but I know that my podcast, Talk is Jericho, has been nominated for this, and if I don't win, well, then that's just not right, because there's no other podcast that's better in this category than my podcast. Even though this is not a competition, how can I not take this as a podcast competition? It's a competition. Steve Austin, he's not going to win. Roddy Piper, he's not going to win. Dan Patrick, that sanctimonious
your
son of a bitch,
nominees
he's not...
are making me do this. Shh, chill out. It's all good. Okay, nominee sports.
Zen.
ESPN Fantasy Focus Football. Talk is Jericho. Woo! Solo Monsters Sounds Off. Ivy Envy. The Steve Austin Show Unleashed. The Steve Dangle Podcast. The Dan Patrick Show. Soccer Morning. Inside the Jungle. Fantasy Baseball from Prospect361.com.
And the winner is Talk is Jericho!
No.
What?
It's not true, actually. Sorry, he made that up. It's ESPN Fantasy Focus Football. It's ESPN.
We'll get him next year.
It's a football.
First of all, my 11-year-old's at home watching. He'd love your autograph, Chris, and apparently I have to have a real serious talk with him after the event.
Oh, for real?
Thanks. Matthew Berry and Nate Ravitz couldn't make it tonight, so you're stuck with Pod Vader. Sorry. You know, this has always been about the fans. It's always been about the listeners. And, you know, podcast is blowing up and the 06010 is shutting down. It's all done. But it's all because of the fans that I now have my position with Blog Talk Radio. Nate has his position at ESPN, and there's Matthew Berry. So we want to thank the fans. We want to thank everyone at ESPN. We want to thank the wise and sage like Mark Harine, who told me to do a podcast 8 years ago and create what we have. And Stefania Bell, the Secret Squirrel, Daniel Dopp. We love you all. Thank you very much.
He's working hard on it. He goes, oh, I'm always 11. I won't write sex with Emily. I have the sex talk way too early. Congratulations.
The feeling of having to sign an autograph for the man that just bested you in the podcast awards. Talk about keeping me while I'm down. I hope young Zach enjoys that autograph, because someday I shall destroy his father. And now to the next category.
Okay, science.
Science.
Very impressive.
The
science.
podcast nominees in our
Podcast.
science category have an impressive list of pedigrees.
Right. They probably already built like weird time machines, so they already figured out who the winners are.
Yeah,
So they didn't have to say
they're
anything.
betting on it already.
Exactly.
So the
Like,
science
why are we
guys are
even
number
here?
one. That's right. So let's just go right to the nominees.
Okay, do it.
As if we even need to.
The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. Star Talk. Radio Lab. Blurry Photos. The Reality Check. Everyday Einstein. Science Friday. The Infinite Monkey Cage. Caustic Soda. Quirks and Quarks.
And the award goes to The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. See?
Okay.
He knew he was going to win, so he
I know.
he built
He's
the
like, dude,
podcast. I'm not
been
gonna
there,
show
done
up.
that,
Forget
built a
that.
time machine,
I'm not
gone
showing
right
up at
ahead.
all.
It's cool. Okay, technology. It's important.
It is
Because
important.
it's tough to be on a tech podcast. And I have some questions for you tech people. Like, what's up with the cloud? Can I talk to you after? Does anyone understand the cloud?
What is the cloud?
Why does it sync everything and then I tell them not to sync?
Can we have a podcast just on the cloud?
Yeah.
I'd listen to that before I listen to the Taylor Swift podcast. I'll
I
tell
know,
you that.
exactly. It's all really confusing, but you guys are doing important work.
Doing a great, great job, the tech people.
Yeah, I know. It's
Great,
true.
great people. Absolutely.
I just need
Hosting
to know.
bandwidths and Twitter accounts and Facebook, all that Facebook stuff.
Right, and like why people get my messages when they shouldn't when they're on my computer, and then some awkward messages pop up when like someone's checking my laptop. I hate that. We'll talk about that after. Anyway, the nominees.
Security Now. Today in iOS. The Audacity to Podcast. The Waves of Tech. Reply All. Mattcast. No better than average. This is only a test. Daily Tech News Show. This Week in Tech.
Somebody here's going to be happy.
I know. The award goes to Daily Tech News Show. Woo!
I feel like you've seen that guy before too.
Hey guys, Tom Merritt was too chicken to come today, but I do co-host a show with him called Cord Killers that didn't get nominated. I'm sure it's an oversight. But Daily Tech News Show has been made entirely possible thanks to the outrageous number of patrons out there. Thank you. This award, I'm sure on behalf of Tom, I could say it really belongs to Diamond Club and the fine folks who support his show, and of course to Jenny Josephson. Thank you guys.
I just want to say that thank goodness that guy and the funny hat guy showed up tonight, or else there'd be nobody here to accept any award.
We didn't win, but we're cool. We're over it. So we are one.
We are. We're all one big happy family
We are,
podcast.
aren't we? Except for the video podcast, because
Video podcast.
I wish I knew about when I started. I didn't do video podcasts, which is probably a good idea because my show's called Sex with Emily, and people always assume that I'm actually having sex. That everyone has sex with Emily
With
on the
Emily,
show.
right.
And then I don't, and there was video. It'd be all really confusing. But video podcasts are awesome. People are doing a great job, but they can't go to work in their like underwear like we do sometimes.
But the fact is, you
Undies?
if you was on video, you couldn't do your podcast without pants like you do.
That's true. That's what I like. I like the makeup, the whole thing. But there are some great people doing video podcasts, and we're going to honor them.
So we thank them from the bottom of our hearts and the bottom from our pants. Let's
They
go
have
the
to wear
awards.
pants.
Yeah, you have to wear
The whole
pants.
thing.
We had to wear pants for this show.
Yeah,
which is
today we went
total
pants. But usually we
drag.
just sit home in our garage doing a podcast.
Yeah, you got to record balls out. That's the way to do it. The guy in the funny hat knows
true.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Does he think we're funny? Do you think he doesn't think we're funny, the funny hat guy?
The nominees are
Rooster Teeth Podcast RT, Barstool Sports Mail Time, The Joe Rogan Experience, Hustle and Heart TV with Darieth Chisholm, This Week in Tech, NASA Edge, Grinders Live, Night Attack, Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig, Norm MacDonald Live.
And the winner is Night Attack.
Hi again. Listen, Night Attack went independent this past year. It's been an amazing year. Just want to thank all the fans. Specifically, I want to thank T2T2, Sergeant Muffin, who just completely revamped DiamondClub.tv. I want to thank Cheeto. Who else should I be thanking? Right, okay. Wait, what? Oh, and Funny Hat Guy, Brian Ibbett. Let's hear it for Brian Ibbett. Thanks, guys.
That's good.
Don't worry, you'll be back. Don't worry, you'll be back.
No, we'll go.
Also, my co-host
Scream.
and best friend on the planet, Justin Robert Young. Wouldn't be possible without him. I knew there was one more.
Stay tuned for the 2016 11th Annual Podcast Awards, hosted by that guy and Funny Hat Guy. They'll just line up all the awards on the table and just pick them one by one.
Right.
Like a buffet of
Seems
awards.
efficient.
You know, I'm a little suspicious of those guys, and I'm a little suspicious of the nominees in the next category, Best Produced.
Why?
Well, because they're so crisp and clean, and they got all the little bells and whistles and little sound effects, all slick and happy. What's Radiolab trying to hide? You know, those bastards. Are they even real people? Huh? The computers? I heard NPR is just a sentient, artificial, lugubrious, solipsistic, gelatinous, wackadoodleistic intelligence program created by Terry Gross.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I heard.
I've heard that too, and I believe it. But podcasts, some of them are just like really well done, you know? Sound matters.
I like them raw and dirty like this show.
And the producers are, this is dirty.
What would this show be like if it was actually produced?
I know. We're producing, which knows that shouldn't be our job. We should be talent.
All right, let's get to these keeners, these podcast well-produced people.
Yeah, let's see these well-produced
nominees
podcasts.
for that category. There.
Okay, we're very proud of you.
The
Well-produced.
Joe Rogan Experience, Radiolab, The Adam Carolla Project, What Say You, The 5 a.m. Miracle, Priority One Podcast, Arrow Squad, Rebel Force Radio, Animation Addicts Podcast, Once Podcast.
Okay, the winner is...
Radio Meth Lab. Call back. Radio Lab.
Do you want to go tell them how angry you are at them? Congratulations.
I feel lost without one of the two guys coming up
I
to
know,
accept
I'm
the
like,
awards.
where'd they go?
Guys should
I've
get
got
a
a
job
chat.
working for Radio Lab.
Okay,
all right,
People's
it's
Choice.
time. It's time. The very important People's Choice Award.
Exactly.
Where the common man and woman join together to elect their favorite show.
Right, this really matters. But all the categories are voted on by the listeners, so it's
Yeah, but
the
this
People's
one
Choice.
is the People's Choice. It's official. This one is called the People's Choice. It's sort of the fan favorite. It's basically like the valedictorian of Podcast Awards. And I was never voted or nominated to be valedictorian of my high school graduating
So
class
you
in
became a
1988
wrestler, or-
in Westwood Collegiate. No, that rat bastard Kirby Gaiman won the valedictorian, and I've never forgiven him or forgotten it since. I wanted to be valedictorian. I would love to be the People's Choice Award winner here, but obviously it's not in the cards because I don't have a funny hat.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Let's just look at the nominees. We'll deal with your issues after, like a long time after. Okay, nominees. Here we go.
A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dean. Barstool Sports Mail Time. Best of the Left. ESPN Fantasy Focus Football. The No Agenda Show with Adam Curry and John Dvorak. No Such Thing as a Fish. Rob Has a Podcast. Rooster Teeth Podcast RT. Serial. The Detroit Cast.
All right.
Okay.
And the People's Choice Award for the best podcast goes to...
Rob Has a Podcast.
Where's your selfie stick?
I left that at home, Jericho. Oh man, Jericho wants the selfie stick back. There's a lot of pressure. Oh my God, I was nominated against Serial in a podcast award category, and I won. And this is a huge mystery, and I feel like this should be the second season of Serial. As to how did this happen? 5 years ago, I was just a guy in a room with a microphone, and I can't believe this journey that we've been on. I feel like this is the top honor in podcasting, and I'm so grateful to everybody out there that voted. Thanks so much to Norm Pattis and everybody at PodcastOne who took a chance on me this year, and I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to say that with the amount of people that are listening to all these shows, that I'm not sure how a podcast like mine was able to do it, but I do believe that what Seth Godin says, with 1,000 true fans or 10,000 true fans, that's more important than millions and other people that maybe just care a little bit about your show. So thank you so much to everybody on Rob Is a Planet. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Love you, Bay. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And Rob also wins the award for the longest speech of the night. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's our show. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks to all the award winners.
Congratulations to everybody, and keep on listening to the podcast. Keep on.
And hold on to those awards because I'm going to mug all of you and steal them after the show.
Exactly.
Thank you and good night.
Thanks.
This has been the 10th Annual Podcast Awards, live from the Westgate Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. The 10th Annual Podcast Awards were brought to you by New Media Expo and the NAB Show, and presented by PodcastOne. I'm your announcer, David H. Lawrence, the 17th. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next year.